So let's go to a videotape of Joy Behar talking about Monica Lewinsky.
And Monica Lewinsky is back in the headlines. So, let me ask this panel, looking back, as we all can now, do you think that Monica was dragged through the mud and blamed for this and Clinton got off the hook too easily?
Did the punishment fit the crime? No. She became a pariah.
Yeah, but
and Hillary suffered, real quickly.
Right.
Hillary suffered. The women in Bill Clinton's life suffered more than he did, beyond the Monica
He was
Lewinsky.
impeached.
He was impeached, but how does that affect your day-to-day life when you look at what he did and went on to be?
He was impeached, but he won. The vote was not there to convict him. I think that if that impeachment had happened today, he would be convicted, and he would be convicted by Democrats.
What are you talking about? First of all, this woman is in bed. She's literally like the daughter of someone from the Contras,
Oh yeah, right.
Anna
Yeah.
Navarro.
You know, she just said in that clip that her life was ruined by the internet. Look, her life was ruined by the actions, her decisions, and the mistakes and the consequences of what happened because of what she did, not by the internet. It was ruined because of what she did. I think Bill Clinton's life did not equally suffer.
Genius. Genius.
I see it differently. When we talk about cyberbullying and harassment, 50% of kids that are cyberbullied have suicidal ideations, right? So that is a real thing. Public shaming is a real thing. But I don't know about this cancel culture and Monica being canceled. I think it's about consequences. And there are consequences at 22 years old for having an affair with the married president of the United States. There are consequences to that behavior. And was she unhireable? Was she a pariah? I remember a handbag line. I remember that she was a dating show host. I remember that she got a degree
These
after going to
people
the
are
Lewis and Clark
sick.
I know they're
They're
sick, right?
college.
They're just
before
Leslie,
sick.
she's not a pariah or unhireable because she went to Lewis and Clark.
No, because she had to do the tour of mostly embarrassing things that people who were scandalized in the 90s did. That's
Right.
not like a thing that was like cool for her.
Right.
Like you could list
Like
Jesus
for
Christ.
some people, maybe it is, but that was not her lane. That she didn't go,
Yeah.
she didn't enter like the professional sphere to become a host of that or a handbag designer.
Yeah, that wasn't like her plan.
Right.
That was opportunities that were given to her in mostly because she was like a laughing stock.
Yeah, laughing stock. Like imagine her dating life after this also.
Well, I mean, there are even stories about her dating, like because Jake Tapper went on a date with her once, which is a infamous story
I
on
didn't know
Twitter,
that. Oh my God. I'm gonna have to check that out for next week. Yeah.
and he was a scumbag
Internship,
about it, by the
a
way.
master's degree from the London School of Economics.
Yeah.
Oh, she got it. Oh, she went to LSE and got a master's. So she's clearly, you know, what I love the way this Sunny's become like a class reductionist. Like everything is through the lens of class now.
Now she is a producer of movies based on this affair. Her life, she's made I think her net worth is in the millions of dollars. She's part of the 1%. And so
What are
when you
you?
talk about she's
What are you and
unhireable
how did you make that money? I
Yeah.
bet off of talking about stuff like this.
Yeah.
and a pariah, I'm just not so sure about that.
Okay, I would submit here that the real victim
Was the United States of America because and Hillary Clinton.
Because
shut
if you
up.
remember, when the debate was going on between Trump and Hillary, Trump brought in all these so-called
Yes.
victims of Clinton's
Oh,
peccadillos, right?
no.
Okay?
Okay. Here she says peccadillos, right? And everyone laughs.
So-called victims, she
So-called
said.
victims. Joy Behar. Do you know who these victims include? Juanita Broderick. Now, this is what is so amazing about these women. They are so entitled and insular that they don't even understand that they just brought this somewhere else, right? Like Monica Lewinsky says of her own thing with Bill Clinton that it's not a Me Too story, but that it was a gross abuse of power. That's how she frames it. Now, people are free to frame it as a Me Too story, but what it isn't is what happened with Juanita Broderick.
Yeah, why
Juanita
would you
Broderick.
even bring that
Why would you
into
even
it?
go there? Yeah, these are people like Juanita Broderick has credibly accused Bill Clinton of rape, of grabbing her, throwing her down, biting her lip so she couldn't scream. There's a witness who saw her swollen lip. That was a master opportunistic move on the part of Trump. he gave Juanita Broaddrick the chance to talk that no one else had given her after she came forward the first time. And by the way, when she did come forward, she didn't want to come forward. This is we're going to have to do a whole episode on this, but she didn't want to come forward because she didn't want to go there and have to deal with him. Kind of powerful guy. And then when she did, uh, she was not included. She didn't testify in the impeachment case because her allegation of rape fell outside the purview of the impeachment. And Kenneth Starr included her in a footnote because I'll say he did not find her not credible. People say that he didn't include her because he didn't think she was credible. That's not true. He didn't include her because rape was not part of the impeachment. The impeachment was about the obstruction of justice. So had Juanita Broaddrick actually just wanted to get Clinton, she could have easily lied. She could have said, yeah, he threatened me to not tell anyone. All she had to say was that he said to me, don't tell anyone. She could have pretended that he had said that to her in the room after it happened, right?
Yeah.
But she's not a liar, I would say. I actually believe her. And also, what the hell is this line with the peccadillo? And all these people are yelling, are laughing. Sorry, I'm yelling. They're laughing. I'm yelling.
When he brought those women into that debate, that hurt Hillary Clinton. And
Yeah,
that is the real victim.
oh,
The country
really?
lost a great person. Hillary Clinton could have been the president instead
She's
of that
alive.
criminal
Okay.
that we had there for 4 years. And that's
Okay.
Trump's arrangement,
that's the real loser.
All right, so I see what Joy was trying to say. What she was saying wasn't as ugly as like the premise. Her premise is ugly, but she was just trying to get to the point and explain why she said that America was the
Right.
victim. Well, that's because Hillary was the victim because Trump brought all those women out. Now she skipped over the part about those women being victims of assault and
Right.
not victims of picadillos.
Yeah. What the
She could
hell?
have made the same point without that ugliness in there. She would have been angry more at Bill Clinton, but she was deflecting the anger from Bill Clinton to this generalized loss of what we could have had in Hillary Clinton.
Right.
Well, then be mad at Bill. Like do a segment about what a scumbag Bill is. If
Yeah.
he caused her to and it's so funny because like Bill Clinton was such an awful he cost both Al Gore and Hillary Clinton
Yeah.
the election, and people will still want this old creep hanging around. I don't know what friends with Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
I don't know what to,
Remember
why?
when?
It's so wild because this is supposed to be a show about women for women, and they're just like they should be the ones having Juanita Broaddrick on.
Yeah, they'll never do that though. And also, allow me to please say that sorry, I took a screenshot and made noise. Allow me to say that it was when they used the term vast right-wing conspiracy around this. So this is also an example of something that they benefited from. This episode, they managed to use this as a moment to remind people. What makes it complicated is there was a vast right-wing conspiracy against the Clintons, but that doesn't mean that everything fell under that. So there were times when they did the wrong thing, they did something wrong. I mean, lots of times, and they always use this as a get out of jail free card because there were some people who had crazy theories about them, but lots of times the theories weren't crazy; they were just actually the truth. And Hillary Clinton, she made her decision to stand by her man, and that's fine, but she's not I mean, she's yeah, it's it's disgusting. But Joy Behar is making it sound like she made this joke, a while ago in the 90s when everyone was doing it.
All comedians, including me, took her on in those days. It was the funniest story, we thought. And in today's climate, there's something about it that doesn't smell right.
Do you regret those jokes?
I don't regret any joke I ever did. Thank you. But
You sound like a Republican.
well, because in the moment it was funny and it was relevant. My intention is never to hurt anybody's feelings,
Yeah.
so I'm coming from a pure place with it.
Let's just watch this.
Brought up these allegations. I wonder if she missed the opportunity.
Okay, so this is Sunny talking about Hillary Clinton and Trump bringing up the allegations against Clinton.
To address it in a way that the public would understand that that's just not how you behave.
The big issue. I would like to apologize to those tramps that.
So this is her saying this is what Hillary could have said. Okay, this is Joy saying what she could have said to the women who were brought out during that debate, because they alleged that Bill Clinton had assaulted or harassed them.
That's just not how you behave.
The big issue. I would like to apologize to those tramps that have slept with my husband. Maybe she could have said that.
Jeez.
So that's what
And,
she suggested Hillary
and
Clinton
like
say.
her